Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Trustees for the February 22nd, 2023 meeting. We will have an opening of the meeting, as we do always, with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we will also have our moment of silence. Our moment of silence tonight is very heartfelt, as all of them are, but this one in a very special way. This one tonight is for Judge John Seavey, Cheryl's husband. Judge Seavey, 2 terms serving as the administrative judge in domestic court, served many years as a magistrate. Obviously, Seavey Pontiac owned that, an incredibly long established West Side business. He's a St. Xavier grad, Notre Dame through and through grad, loved Notre Dame, and also UC College of Law. And also, obviously, Cheryl's husband and also the brother of Judge Sylvia Seavey Hendon. I'm not going to put you on the spot, Cheryl, unless there's something you would like to add to that. I think John would certainly be honored.
I'm not sure I'm on. I am now. I just want to thank the community for all that you've done, all that you were to John. He loved his job. He loved Delhi. And we're proud to be here. I'm sorry.
Yep, and I think we would concur. And we thank John for his many years of service, dedication, love for the community, and obviously love that he had for you and for just so many. So for John Seavey, in our moment of silence, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Approval of the minutes, please.
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees regular meeting held on February 8th, 2023, and dispense with the reading.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Motion to approve the payment of overtime for pay period ending February 7th, 2023.
So moved.
I second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion approved. Report from the fiscal officer, please. Mr. Luby.
As far as significant transactions since our last meeting, our payroll on 2/16 was $341,000. On February the 8th, we received a real estate tax advance in the amount of $3,450,000. On 2/21, we received $44,000 for our cable franchise fees. And on 2/22, we received $59,000 for motor vehicle license tax, gasoline tax, and local government fund. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Trustee correspondence, Trustee Sturts.
Yes. As always, I love to put out there when we get wonderful comments about our employees, and so we received some very high praise for exceptional service delivered by Haley Dana Miller, Tyler Rui, and Lieutenant Kramer on our fire department. So we're proud of all of them, but, again, thank you to the citizens who take their time out to let us know how well they did with them. Also, Saturday, we all attended the first annual police award ceremony, something that was in the making for 3 years by some of the troops, but then COVID hit and they couldn't do it. But it was a peer acknowledgement of others within their department, and I don't have the list of who received them. We'll put that out there maybe at the next meeting, and I apologize. I thought I had it, but I don't. But what a wonderful event for all of us to attend, and for our people, again, to be recognized for their work and what they do, and again, by their peers. So bless them. And then lastly, received an email. If you're interested in the weather, the Hamilton County weather is looking for spotters, and they're having training, and you attend the training, and when I did it, it was online, so I don't know how it is now. But we're going to put on online how you can get involved. And what you'll do is if there's bad weather somewhere and you start submitting what's happening in your neighborhood, That's what they need to know, and so you're the eyes and ears. But here it is right here. It is going to be held at the Grove at Springfield Township, so it is going to be in person. But anyway, if you're interested in doing something like that, this will be on the website tomorrow. Sign up and be a weather spotter. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Trustee Seavey.
The trustees have had a very busy past 4 days. Last Friday, we were there to witness a naturalization of new American citizens at St. Dominic's. And if any of you have ever attended this ceremony, it is a complete renewal of our own citizenships. So we started with that on Friday. Saturday, we did the police awards dinner. And then on Sunday, well, one of us tried to bowl. But the fire department had their annual charity bowling event, and it was a great success. And that the funds that they raise for that bowling event go to the Kids, Cops, and Firefighters, the Delhi Skirt Game, and it also helped 2 of our own employees with health issues. So it was a great event, and it answered the cause to some great people. And finally, if you drove down Nabe Road yesterday about 11 o'clock, you saw the traditional blessing of the new fire truck. The Quint is officially in service, and that begins with a blessing from the previous Quint, truck, water, and all. And then Father Ben blessed, and then our guys and girls push the truck into its bay. It's a tradition long steeped in the fire department, and we were so pleased to see it again in Delhi Township with our brand new Quint. So when we have the open house again at the fire station, you really want to see this apparatus. It is amazing. It's got a 100-foot, is that right, Doug? Is he dug around here? 100-foot ladder? And a lot of people will say to me, we don't have buildings that are all that tall. And I have to remind them that the truck goes this way, and the ladder goes this way. So when you get home and you look at your front yard and see if it's 100 feet back, know that the truck pulls up, the ladder drops, and your home is being saved. Okay? So it's been a busy week to represent Delhi Township, and we were all proud to do it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And this naturalization ceremony was absolutely fantastic, and we all try to get to those each year. And my own opinion, you know, when you see that and you see people doing it the right way and learning what it's like to be an American citizen, learning the Pledge of Allegiance, that feeling, and when they recite the pledge and to see the expression like we just saw on 50 faces all facing us, and some in tears, some smiling because they made it to that point of being a citizen of this country. And as I said, they did it the right way. They went through and they jumped through the hoops. They did what they had to do. They put the time in to do it right. That's how it should be. That's my own personal thought compared to other things that go on in this country. The second part was, it was an honor to be there for the police awards, and I love that it's first annual and that it'll be ongoing. It's an acknowledgement. I know some of our police personnel are here tonight. What an honor that is, and I hope you realize the support that you have from the township, from the Board of Trustees, the administration, our police division, especially, and our fire also. But you police officers, you guys get hammered all the time in the press. I call it social meanness network. I'll tell you what, I can't figure out what goes on in this country and in some of these jurisdictions where they actually talk about defunding the police and pulling back. It makes absolutely no sense. You men and women in our police division don't get enough credit for what you should get by the media and by others. But I want you to know here on this night, we appreciate, we love everything you do. Our residents are honored and blessed to have the safety services that we have right here. And we know firsthand, it's not like that in every jurisdiction around this state and around this country. But we know what we have, and we know what we have in you. So thank you so much for all you do. The fire, being able to stop up there Sunday was incredible. To see Western Bowl, every lane occupied and everyone there for a good common cause is just fantastic. Delhi, great weekend, and thank you, Cheryl, absolutely, and Rose, just all great things. Thank you. We have a great special presentation tonight. We have a swearing in for a new officer in our police division, Chief Haworth.
Thank you, Board of Trustees. I appreciate it. I was wondering if Hunter's friends back there heard how great of a place this is to work. We are taking apps, so feel free to grab one on the way out.
We do want to acknowledge that also. We have, is that Cincinnati or where are we?
Yes, those are
Great.
Cincinnati police officers, friends of Hunter Gibson, who came to us from Cincinnati Police Department. So Hunter was sworn in officially after the first of the year. He's a Delhi resident. He started his career in corrections at the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office in 2017, a position he held until he entered the Cincinnati Police Academy in 2019. He was a Cincinnati police officer from 2019 until we brought him on board after the first of the year. So we're excited. He's hit the ground running. He's about 8 weeks into the FTO program. Can't see much longer before he's out on his own. Just a wealth of knowledge, and we're glad to have him.
Great. And we're going to do a swearing in, correct?
Yep, thank you.
I'm going to have you face me if you would. You won't need to read that. Raise your right hand if you would. I, Hunter Gibson,
I, Hunter Gibson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. That I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States of America.
of the United States of America,
The Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio.
the Constitution and the laws of the State of Ohio,
And the resolutions of the Township of Delhi.
and the resolutions in the Township of Delhi,
And I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties
all the duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as a police officer of the Delhi Township Police
as
Department.
a police officer of the Delhi Township Police
And the
Department.
most important part, so help me God.
Most important part, so help me God.
You have your pen on here, or you wanna- You wanna introduce your family, who's with you?
A few words, if you would, officer.
Yeah, I'm Hunter Gibson. Like you said, I have previous experience in law enforcement. I've a lot of my buddies behind me here that have been supportive through this whole entire process and really helped me know that they'll still be my friend even though I leave. So that's a good thing. They've been support. All the guys back there to my right have been welcoming and welcoming me in like family, and it's been an honor to work with them, with the great FTOs I've had, and I've learned a lot from them since I've been here. To my right, to my mom. She'll be the one pinning me today, and then behind me is my Aunt Lisa. They've been my backbone throughout this whole entire process and all that crazy stuff that I've done in my life. So I'm just happy to have them here, and I thank you guys for the opportunity to serve and protect Delhi Township.
Thank you, Officer Gibson.
Thank you.
Rose, comments?
No, welcome. We're always glad to steal somebody from another department. We're glad.
I'm trying to get them over here.
Yeah, we'll take them. But thank you, and we're glad you chose your hometown.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Trustee Seavey.
New officer, welcome to Delhi Township. Mom, thanks for sharing. We appreciate that, and we'll take the best care of him.
I'm sure she'll like to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we have the pinning now.
It's kind of like prom. You just act like you know what you're doing. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hunter? That's fine. We just want to congratulate you.
He's gonna protect you.
Very good. We will move on then. We will give a 30-second reprieve here for those that are moving on to other things and aren't going to be hanging around for the meeting. And again, thank you again. Also, CPD, Cincinnati Police, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Very much so.
Thanks for taking care of the city.
Yep. It's a lot of great men and women serving the city and this township, that's for sure.
Sounds like Hill Street Blues. Isn't that what they used to say? Stay safe out there?
Let's be safe out there.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't do any pictures with it. It doesn't matter.
Very good. We do have a special presentation tonight, Township Governmental Electric Aggregation Program Update with Dan Dieters, who's here with Energy Alliances, hopefully with a little good news, maybe?
We do have good news.
Awesome.
Although I've seen so many officers get sworn in the last 3 weeks and so many people leave in front of me speaking, I'm starting to get conflict. So as you know, we put program on hiatus in December because we couldn't achieve any pricing that was better than Duke's. At this point, where we are is starting May, we expect Duke's price to go north of 9 cents a kilowatt hour. We believe we can get a price for the residents of Delhi on a 2-year term less than 6.5 cents. So average house save about $25 a month if we can achieve that. What I'm here to ask tonight is that you authorize your administrator to be able to pull the trigger on the contract. I know Mr. Pacheco has seen it in this and other jurisdictions, and last night we did one in Sycamore for 6.4 cents. So we're hopeful we can get at, near, around, and get the savings started. This will be May start in a 2-year term. So we're still in the February, March, April, we'll still be in your 6.5 cent range for your residents. So we won't start it until their bump goes up. So after the May reading, we'll start the program. So, and everybody's reading is different.
Okay. What about any fluctuation during the 2 years? Is this a lock to the price?
Fixed. It's
Okay.
fixed. And
So
and the
just so
first-
everyone can understand that.
Yeah, so the first year, we know that it's going to be pretty substantial savings. The second year, it might close down a little bit, but we think we're in good shape.
Okay.
And this is an opt-out opportunity for our residents if we sign.
It's always the same program where folks will get a letter, they can ignore it and get in the program, or they can and they can opt out at that time. Also, after the PUCO mandatory opt-out period's over, you can come and go from our programs anytime you please without any cost of any kind.
Okay.
And it's nothing for our residents that they're automatically put into. If you see a letter, you want to do it, great, sign up. If not, then you still stay with the Duke.
You'll be enrolled.
You'll be enrolled.
Be enrolled, because
It's-
that was the vote.
Yeah.
Right.
So what happens is,
Yeah.
the reason that is, Trustee Davis, is because we can capture the amount of energy and bid it. If it's an opt-in program where we don't know who's going to be in it, it'll be no better than the guys that are going door to door knocking on doors, that price. So we can get them to sharpen their pencil. And when you're talking about, let's just say 6.5 cents a kilowatt hour against 9 cents for an average house, that's $25 in energy a month. So we're hoping to get in that. I think in the resolution it says sign under 7.5. We just built that in a couple of weeks ago to give us a little leeway, but I don't see it going anywhere near that number.
And what are you right now?
We're not doing anything right now.
Okay.
So we're
This will be coming-
So this will be coming in May. The residents of Delhi, along with a bunch of other communities that we put on hiatus, are with Duke at that Duke 6.5 cent price. And we're hoping to achieve that or a little bit better.
Okay,
But in May, Duke's jumping to 9
okay,
or more, we believe.
okay. Brian, on that, the letterhead and things like that that would go out, we've been honestly I'm sure you guys have too, inundated by people that are so confused with Duke and all these others trying to, and they got me, all of a sudden I had a $400 bill for electric. So it was crazy. But one of the things I remember we talked about for the residents to know that this is legit, that this is who we are, it's okay to use our township logo and that letterhead, and we're all on the same page.
If it doesn't have a township logo on it, it's something else, you should ignore it.
Thank you.
Right.
And that's what I want to make sure we get established. Should we go for this, that the residents know, unless our imprimatur is on there, then don't.
And the other thing, because I've seen Mr. Dieters in other communities, is that when folks have questions, he encourages people to call and talk to him, not some computer, not somebody on the other side of the world, but to him. So, in fact, in other jurisdictions, I recall he's given out phone numbers. So the point is that not only should it have the imprimatur of Delhi Township, but you're also going to have somebody who can respond to you personally, who's in the area, who will answer any questions that you have. So that's another benefit.
Okay. Trustee Sturts?
No, he answered my
Trustee-
question, thank you.
Trustee Seavey?
I remember in our initial selection of what to do about aggregation, one of our biggest pieces that we had concern about was customer service, and that was how we got with Dan Dieters, because he went with me to the senior center to answer a lot of their questions, and he's available to anyone with a phone call. So that was one of the big reasons for the selection. So thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you. I think we're linked to your website. Delhi has a page on our website with our numbers on them.
Yes.
So, and it has the local Cincinnati number. So if you leave me even a message there, it shoots me the message to my cell phone and I call right back.
I would, if you don't mind, our fiscal officer, Jim Luby. Do you have a comment or thoughts? Or
No, again, customer service is key. People always have questions about energy aggregation, so being able to talk to someone is very important.
Especially now with the raising of the rates and the bills. The bills are staggering.
When folks jump out of, if they opt out of this program, their May bill, their June bill, it's gonna be a rude awakening.
Dan, if you don't mind, just stay right there. And I know we have a question or two in the House, and I'd rather do that now since we're on this subject. Go ahead.
I just have a question. On the agenda, it says contract with Energy Harbor LLC, and that says Energy Alliance. So are they one and the same? Or-
No, ma'am. So we're a consultant. We're in Sycamore Township, and Energy Harbor is a supplier. They're the ones that we're going to choose to provide the energy to the residents of Delhi.
Okay, thank you.
Good question, Pam.
Yeah, great question. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you coming out. Yeah. Our fire division, I don't have anything on the agenda, and I think we've talked a little bit about the fire, but I know we continue the search for the assistant chief and such, and I think we're down to 2 great candidates, so hopefully next week or two, something will come out on that. Thank you so much, Chief Campbell. Parks and Recreation. Well, there's nothing going on in the parks these days, right? Let's talk about that a little bit if we can. Come on up. Mr. Soupy. We saw a really great piece of paper that came here tonight with a lot of events. Go ahead, sir.
That's just our adjustments for what we're going to try to attend. We're probably going to put it out Friday, I believe. We reached out to many acts and venues, and this is what we got back and decided on. We have increased our concert schedule from 4, I believe, that we had, and possibly 5 over the year, and we're going to try 6. We know we wanted to try to do, or you guys wanted to try to do 8. It's a big stretch for us for our employees right now, so we're going to try and get these done as it is. And our schedule is everything else we're trying to get as caught up as we can without an events coordinator as of right now. So I'd like to put a plug in for that as well. Anybody looking for a part-time job for events coordinator? So.
Mr. Subi, in the leadership meeting on Tuesday, you made the statement that you're getting phone calls from residents about why the bathrooms aren't open and why the picnic tables aren't out. Because we're having beautiful days. Can you address that and explain?
Unusual February weather. It does increase the crowd traffic in the park. Generally, we open restrooms in our facility. We shoot for April 1st. We know the weather's going to be fine. We know the restrooms, the water lines won't break, all the issues with our water issues. We don't have any heat. We did adjust for the main playground, the new playground, to put heat in that restroom. We are leaving that open through the hours of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., I believe. But other than that, the tables, everything else will go out in due time. But you can't judge for beautiful weather like February weather we're having, It is going to get colder, I imagine, for the next couple months. So.
Exactly. And so you can't go back and blow out all the
No,
plumbing
and
and everything again.
once everything is full of water, you have to do a big process, and it will cost thousands to fix lines. And yeah,
Just wanted to get that out there because I do know people are like, what's going on? Well, it's February. In
yeah. I mean,
Ohio.
eventually it would be nice to have all the waters remain on, but that in turn, we did budget for the middle restroom to do that and put heat in it. But the rest of them, we don't have that at the time.
Okay. Just wanted them to hear it.
Delhi cleanup is April 6th, not May 6th, correct?
It is May 6th.
May 6th, okay.
Yes.
On this calendar,
It says April.
okay. I have a
Derby
question. I have a question. By the way, I love the bands. Dan, did you get the bands? Okay, love the bands. We had talked at length pretty much about moving the concerts to Wednesday. I thought that's what the directive was, although I see on this calendar everything is on a Thursday. Did somebody decide to do that themselves, or what am I missing?
No, we thought through the days with the availability of the bands and availability of our staff. Usually every 2 Wednesdays we're not available because of meetings, and that would take away half of our crew. Myself and Dan are at these meetings. Other than that, Thursdays is the best day. Fridays, prices go up for the weekends. Mondays, Tuesdays are not a good day to bring people out after the weekends. We're kind of set on Thursdays, for being.
I know we're set on Thursdays, and that's why it was going to be something different. I just don't appreciate seeing this for the first time now in a
Yes.
meeting, or I wouldn't be addressing it now.
Yes.
Dan,
If I may,
please do.
I know you discussed at length moving, at the budget hearing, of moving the concerts to Wednesdays. Neither Randy or myself were there for that, and I was informed of that later on. I sent an email at that time, Administrator Lemon, requesting whether or not they needed to be moved to Wednesdays or was, standard on Thursdays as they've been the past 20 or 19 years. And Mr. Lemon's email back to me was he has no directive that they were supposed to be moved to Wednesdays, keep them on Thursdays.
Okay.
So I do have, I have a copy of the email that's needed.
No, I appreciate, like I said, there was a missing link here somewhere, something that I didn't see, that's all. And I wouldn't think, and being in show business for 30 years myself, a Wednesday night gig, are you kidding me? I would have snatched that up in a heartbeat compared to a Thursday. So availability of bands, not
Yeah.
really. You got more availability on a Wednesday than you would on a Thursday.
Yeah, not so much the availability. I'm sure the bands are free, through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, very, very frequently. But, we are in a staffing shortage ourselves, and then taking 2 of our employees away that are there, for the concert. It's going to make it pretty tough on us to begin with anyways.
Yeah, and that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
That I appreciate hearing, and Dan, I appreciate that point too on Administrator Lemon at that point, because that was the last I heard. I just figured we were doing that, moving things, and that's good. But I think the bands are great. Dan, thanks for that, and I hope they're excited. Some of these other ones, Danny Frazier and them, they got to be excited. So you'll have some good crowds in the park. That's going to
I
be
hope so.
awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait a second, I'm sorry. One more thing. I did have a resident say something to me a couple of days ago. They were up over on the weekend up in the park. They were a little bit concerned just on people that were there, a couple fights on the skate park, a driver from Kentucky that got ticked off and flew out, yada, yada. When does our police officer start in the park?
We have our officer starts in May.
Okay. No?
Is it
Jim's shaking his head.
Oh, I'm sorry, April 1st to November.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, because if the weather continues to really be nice as it is, we might want to look at something a little sooner, but we'll play it by ear. But you're aware of that kind of some of that stuff going on.
Yeah, and keep in mind if for the residents, if they see stuff, we kind of hope they take it upon themselves. Call the non-emergency number at the police. They will address it if it comes up. I know it's hard to catch every single time, and we do have the cameras there as well, but we have to have information, to move forward with that.
Yeah, and that's great. Love to having the cameras up there. So
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so
Yep,
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a great year here in Delhi Park. Lots of fun. Police Department, Chief Howarth.
I was just going to kind of piggyback on that. I hope they call us and don't take it into their own hands. I don't have anything on the agenda. I would like to mention, because the last couple meetings talking about red light violators up in the business district. So since the last meeting, and I forwarded a copy to you, Trustee Davis, reference high exposure of police officers being up there in the business district with selective enforcement. So over the last 2 weeks, not quite 2 weeks because it doesn't include today, it includes up until yesterday around noon, the officers spent an extra 18 hours and 44 minutes up there in selective enforcement. A lot of that time's, just being present and aware, so people realize there's an officer that sits by this red light and so forth. So they're up and down through there. They did issue citations, 6 citations, 13 written warnings, and 6 verbal warnings during that time frame. So we'll continue to be up there. Hopefully people have noticed that we've been up there, and we'll continue to be up there patrolling. Not only that, but all major intersections in the township. Is the motoring safety is utmost concern to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty huge. And I think all of us can attest to what we see, Light turns green, don't go. Look both ways before you go anywhere. And I just, like I said, we can't control what happens in the city or Green Township or anywhere else. But in Delhi, we can control that. And like I said, I'll know that we're doing our job the best when I see it on social media networks saying, oh man, the Delhi police are all over the pike. Good, that's what we want. And as we said, we're not trying to go pick up a quick moving violation. We get $4 a ticket. Trust me, it has nothing to do with it. But we want to keep it safe, and we don't want to see any of our loved ones, our kids, grandkids, hurt, seriously, because someone's just driving along and isn't caring. So thanks for everything you guys are doing on this. Trustee Sturts, anything?
No, thank you for everything you did.
Trustee Seavey?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. Public Works, please.
We have a motion to approve the hiring of Stephen M. Cooling as Service Worker 1 in the Public Works Department at the first step rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Road Department Employees Association and successful completion of the pre-employment drug testing and background check effective on February 22nd, 2023.
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor?
yes.
Yes.
Oh, welcome, Stephen.
Hey.
Thank you, trustees. We've done a good amount of interviews, and we came across somebody with a good mechanical background, construction background, and an excellent driving record. We're excited to get them started.
Good.
Great to have him on board.
Triple threat.
Anything else going on, Public Works? What are you guys doing? There's no snow, no ice. What's up with that?
Still got a sidewalk going in on Greenwell. It's
And it looks great.
moving fast. It does look good. They're doing some good quality work. We're real happy with that. Of course, they're moving from Greenwell to Neeb Road after that. So if the weather keeps up, they should knock it out pretty quick.
Yeah. Awesome. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay. Administration?
We have Resolution 2023-18 declaring intent to conduct internet auction through GovDeals for the sale of unneeded, obsolete, unfit, or no longer needed for public use township personal property, effective until December 31st, 2023, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any need for discussion on this resolution?
This is simply a annual resolution to establish how we will dispose of unneeded and unneeded equipment. We will have a list prepared for an April resolution.
Very good.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-19, authorizing Delhi Township to pick up the statutorily required contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for certain employees of the Delhi Township pursuant to Internal Revenue Code Section 414H2 and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please, on this resolution.
OPR's requested changes to a prior approved resolution. This resolution replaces 2023-017.
Thank you.
I will note that OPR's also approved the prior resolution before it was put in front of the board. So,
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
We have a motion authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into a new contract with Energy Harbor LLC as a new energy services provider for the Township's electric aggregation program at a rate not to exceed 7.5 cents per kilowatt.
So moved.
I'm confused. Can I ask a question?
yes, ma'am?
Why did they pass it for 6.5 in Sycamore and we're passing for 7.5?
You're passing at a rate not to exceed, because I think Dan said, you don't think it's going to go that way, but so it's under that. You're going to get your best price, just making sure that.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
a commodity that's constantly changing. He's
Right,
hoping-
right. He made a point of saying Sycamore approved at 6.5 and mine says 7.5. I'm going to ask why.
Yep, not to exceed. So we're hoping to lock in.
I'm just saying. A penny's a penny. Okay,
I'll be
second.
pushing for that penny too.
You bet.
I'll be watching it.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Good.
All right.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Administrators update. Skylar,
Yes, sir.
you've been in since what day? When did you take over?
January 12th.
January 12th, so
We're getting there. I'm building up days.
what are your thoughts so far? Are you going to stay?
I think so. Yeah. It's a good community. Good team.
No, I think,
Trustees aren't that bad either.
no, and we've heard good things. The employees really appreciate your openness and they're able to approach you and talk things out with you. That's awesome. There's a couple of heads shaking right now, so good. Any updates?
I'm honored. Just some quick updates, some happenings over at the Delhi Town Square. This is the rear, I guess this would be the southeastern wall, so behind this will be the 8-lane Olympic-sized pool. We had some modifications to the stage that's going at the south end of the lawn. Our owner's rep out in the field actually noticed that the back wall of this was going to actually block not only the view of the building from looking south, but it would also block our view of the lawn from administration spaces. So we're cleaning this up, trying to create that open environment that's part of the vision here. So we're constantly out there on site tweaking things, and you know it's these little details that are going to make or break it. So this is simply showing more of the skeleton of the building. This is the steel. We recently had a steel topping ceremony. This is the beam that everybody on the project team and township staff members signed. These are pictures from that ceremony. This is our Turner crew, I believe, and our township team. So there's the beam being raised in place and finally set. So.
Oh, Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
That's right. It's actually kind of interesting. It's a Scandinavian tradition. So I don't know. I won't go into detail on it. I don't want to misspeak, but
Good.
it is a good mile marker and a fascinating ceremony to be a part of. So That's all I have, unless there's any questions for me.
No, trustee Sturts?
No, thank you.
Stevie?
No, thank you.
Good. Community development, please.
We have Resolution 2023-20, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 4605 Foley Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion on this resolution, Mr. Roach.
Good evening, trustees. So the 10 resolutions that Mr. Luby is going to read, the properties are still in violation as of this morning. So unless you would have specific questions on a property, we're just requesting that you declare them nuisances so we can continue on with our nuisance procedures.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I would like to bring something to your attention. How many resolutions were we originally preparing for?
Originally it was 19, then it went down to 12, and we were able to take 2 off this morning, so we're down from 19 to 10.
Nice job.
Thank you.
I would like to compliment the community development team for constantly working with residents, trying to abate these. We're always looking for voluntary compliance, and you know, whittling this list down, even the day of, I think is a great practice and shows a lot of commitment from our department.
Nice job. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-21, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 5554 Cleander Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-22, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 4491 Clover Hill Terrace, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-23, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 5415 Whitmore Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, yes. So the violation is the white seat or whatever that is and the black thing in front of their door?
It's in front of the front door, and it looks like there might be some household garbage that was in that white tote. I'm sorry, that black tote there.
Okay. And
Garbage can. And
garbage can lid, is that occupied? You know?
I don't have
I
it.
think that one was.
Was it?
Okay.
I think so.
Wow. I mean, it's such an easy cleanup. You have it done in 2 minutes.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-24, providing for the removal of a junk motor vehicle at 990 Beach Meadow Lane, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion? Excuse me?
No.
Wait a minute. Discussion.
No discussion?
Nope.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-25, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 842 Neeb Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of the resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-26, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 3964 Delhi Pike, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please. Is that Lower Delhi?
Yes, that's down on the, I believe it's going to be on the north side of Delhi Pike down towards the Delhi Township line.
Right at the line there.
I had a lengthy discussion with this occupant, and she stated that the neighbor was stacking off her trash up behind her house.
That the neighbor did that? Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
And how did that resolve? Do we?
So she asked for an extension. This was about a week ago, and I typically don't give all of our regulations sometimes so they don't know. They had a 7-day compliance at the same time when she got the letter. Then I stated, you wouldn't go in front of your board until the night. You have another 7 days. So I said, basically, we're giving you a 14-day extension already. So
Okay.
I typically don't like letting people know that, but since she asked for an extension, I just don't like them know when we're coming in.
Okay.
Is that household trash? I mean, is
That's household trash.
That's not cardboard, that's.
Big bags
Human
of-
trash. Yeah.
Okay.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-27, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 416 Greenwell Avenue, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-28, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 376 Glen Oaks Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-29, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 5161 Cleves Warsaw Pike, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion. On something like this, Tony, is this somebody called us in? Did we just happen to drive by and see it? I mean, you see that tucked way back in the neighbor wars, or what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, we are proactive. When we see trash or what, we are proactive. I'm not quite sure if this was one that John spotted on it while he was out, but seeing that it was sitting back Trustee Davis, I'm going to assume that was a neighbor that called on that one, a neighboring property. It only takes a few bags of human trash to, attract rodents and this and that, so it doesn't take much. So, but we are proactive on if we see trash.
Great. No, absolutely.
I'm going to, at least 14 days. So, if not longer, because we didn't have anything for the 8th meeting.
Any other discussion?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes. Thank you. I do not have anyone signed in for public comments tonight. Anyone have anything they'd like to say? I'm going to have that gentleman come up here real fast. Adam, come up for a second, yeah. One of our newest business owners on Delhi Pike. How did the event go? And we had the Christmas parade and January rolled in. What's up with that? What are you thinking for next year? Where are you?
No, I'd love to do it again.
You're with
Edward Jones. Yeah,
Edward Jones?
Financial advisor with Edward Jones. So we did a Letters to Soldiers event right before, it was during the DBA parade. So we just had a lot of competing priorities. One, I'm brand new to the community, so I don't think I'd established my brand as well as I probably would have liked, but there were also several schools that were doing their winter fests. It was also the United States game in the World Cup at that exact time. So I think we had some competing priorities, but we ended up having between probably 40 and 50 people show up. We got to send the letters through the Red Cross, and so it achieved what I was looking for. Hopefully, we'll do a better job next year of publicizing it, being able to notify the community a little earlier and try to make it a bit better, even involve some of the other businesses. But overall, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice event. You have the Christmas parade, you come to the lodge, see Santa, do letters,
It'll be all
soldiers.
remodeled, so I haven't seen it, but, at this
Yeah.
time next year, or this time this year, it'll be remodeled, so hearing good things.
Good, and thank you for opening shop in Delhi, right there
Yeah.
on Delhi, across from Asian Fusion.
Right
and-
across from the Kumo, Asian
Kumo,
Fusion.
excuse
Yep.
me. Yeah, Kumo
Yep,
Asian
right down the
Fusion.
street from the Kroger. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Adam?
Good. Announcement of community events, please.
We have our 2023 Spring Softball Recreation Leagues now forming. Game will be Friday and Sunday night men's league beginning the second week of April. You can contact the parks for more information. The Delhi Branch Library Program office hours, writer in residence, will be Thursday, March 9th at the Delhi Library. Join Manuel Iris, the library's 2023 writer in residence, for an in-person office hour session to strengthen your skills. Iris's expertise is in poetry, and he welcomes writers in all genres. Contact the library to register. The Delhi Historical Society program, Lost Treasures of Cincinnati, by Amy Brownie, is Monday, March 13th at 7 p.m., and it's at the Delhi Community Senior Center. Remembering restaurants, drive-ins, concert halls, and other favorite places of the past, contact the Delhi Historical Society with any questions. That's all we have.
Okay. Well, we do have need for executive session tonight, so we will entertain a motion to retire to executive session.
We have a motion to retire to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and/or compensation of a public employee of the township, and to consider confidential information related to the marketing plans, specific business strategy, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance and imminent litigation.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor, please call the roll, please.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Very good. Thank you all for being here tonight. Our next meeting will be March 8th at 6 p.m. right here. So we thank those that came out tonight so much. And have a great rest of the month of February. And happy Lent. There you go. Happy Lent. Thank you, folks.